Generally, I don't talk about a lot of the Twitter drama that goes on, but and Twitter drama is actually a bit unfair because there's plenty of the dramas there on Facebook as well. It's not like Facebook is doing a great job of masking kind of its role in all this craziness. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use video to respond to a bunch of different ones, all in one batch, or just get them all out of the way. I get asked questions about some of these, and there's not even 30 seconds worth of content in the video. So I'm just going to collect them all up, piss a bunch of people off, lose subscribers. That's the goal here today. Let's do it. Hey, everybody, this is Perch talking about a bunch of the little topics that don't necessarily warrant a full video because in some cases the answer is very short. So I've got this long list here I've been collecting over several weeks. People will send in requests, and I want to honor those. This is something you want to hear me talk about, but there's just not enough meat on the bone to make an entire video about it. I did this once before, so let's go in it again. A bunch of little topics all in one. Here we go. So first off, my buddy Wes, Thinking Critical, did a video on this already. He covered the topic to some extent, but the question is this whole Comicsgate nonsense around, can you trademark the name Comicsgate, and is that effective? Is it a good idea? And my answer is no. It's a dumb idea, and it's a dumb idea because it's a waste of time. And I say that because, again, you probably have heard me say this before. What are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to shut somebody down? Are you trying to troll someone? Are you trying to embarrass them? Are you trying to generate some kind of action of some kind? It's what are you going for? And really, the only thing that makes trademarking Comicsgate, which would never hold up in court. That's the problem. Is if anyone decides to actually pursue to fight it or enforce it, either direction, you're in for an impossible battle. It's not going to happen because it's not a thing. You have to have a product, a good, or a service to actually trademark something. You can try, and plenty of people do, and several people get all excited because they trademark things. Or they get provisionals and they don't realize that that really doesn't mean anything. It's just that's kind of a first step. Nobody's really examining it closely. It's how you have, somebody trademarked President Obama as a trademark, and they're like, ah, ha, ha. I remember Fox News did a little segment on like, yeah, we're gonna make president stop using his name. It's like that. That's not how it works. That's not even the beginning. And this is the problem with a lot of armchair lawyers. So the only way this all becomes valuable, if there's any use of it, is if the goal is to kind of troll someone into being irritated and talking about you a lot. If it's a way to generate self publicity, then yeah, I mean, go for it, because certainly videos will be made. People call you, foolish, and you'll go back around and you'll create that drama. I don't know the individuals involved. I guess both people on each side of this thing follow me on Twitter. That's cool. I don't. I just think it's a waste of time, and I say that because it's like you only have so much time in the world in your life. Why are you pursuing this nonsense? That's my personal perspective on it all. Do I think that? Yeah, well, whatever. That's it. That's all that can really be said of that. I think Wes covered it in more detail, but I don't see the point. And my perspective, which again, if you've heard my videos a lot, you probably have heard this too. I think you should track everything back to value, and the value can be your time. It can be emotional. It can be monetary. It's got to be valuable. So what is the value that you're trying to obtain over anything? And if you find yourself investing a lot of energy into something with no value return, then stop. Like, just stop. You're wasting your time. That's my opinion anyway. You can do what you want. It's your time. Next up on the list, I get this question a lot by one particular viewer who is very obsessed with it, which is, which tier did you back of Cyberfrog? And the answer is, I don't know, which is a lousy answer, but I couldn't tell you. I have not backed the newer projects. I haven't backed any real new projects, but my policy as of about a year ago was to back pretty much every crowdfunded campaign I could. And frankly, if there's anybody who's really out to dox me, all you have to do is kind of, collaborate a little bit, see, the one name that pops up in all of them. That's me. or you could just be even easier. You could just write me and say, hey, where are you selling this thing? And I'll just tell you. That's the way you could do it. But I generally funded all the different projects. I funded projects I hopped out right about, I did not fund Deadbeats, that project. And it wasn't because I didn't like Renfamous or any of or I think Mags Sagio was involved in that one. It didn't have anything to do with them or their ideology. It's just that's about the time that I sold off my stake in the comic shop that I was running, getting ready to do the next one. I did not want to load up on a bunch of crowdfunding projects, which is probably stupid because I wish I did have some, but I went for a full stop. So I could not tell you which Cyberfrog tier I backed. I know I backed one of them because I've got it in a pile here, but I want to kind of burst anyone's illusions. I did not back any of these projects based on because I backed tons of projects by Ron Mars, by other people. I just get all the crowdfunded projects. That was my position for a long period of time. When I have a shop opened up again, I will go back to backing everything again. And so if you want an easy dollar, let me know. I will happily promote your project and I will probably invest in it. Unless you do something really egregious, but I invest in everything. So there's been people who said, "Oh, how dare you back that?" And there's some people who say, "How dare you not back that?" And I think that's all rather silly. I back everything. It's just there you go, no drama. These answers are taking longer than I thought. Who knew? What's your prediction for the Mark Waid, Richard C. Meyer lawsuit? Well, I've said this on Twitter before for people who have asked, and the answer is I think Waid wins. And I know that's an unpopular answer, and people might get upset. I don't say that out of malice. I do think that kind of dinkering around in other people's business and kind of the angry calls, I hate using the word white knight because you could use that term 10 years ago and it meant something, and now it's all wrapped up in politics and ideology. Come on, Shard Goodwin Murphy, take it back. Take that term back and you rescue it. But I don't like anyone. And I didn't like it back in the 90s when a bunch of religious conservatives would call, concerned citizens around my shop and tell them I was selling cherry Pop-Tart and Evil Ernie. I didn't like that. I thought that was dodgy behavior. I don't like people who try and interfere in other people's business. You buy it, you don't buy it. So I think the Mark Waid, concerned citizen calling Antarctic, all that kind of junk is distasteful to me. I don't think that's kosher. I don't think it's kosher, whatever your politics, wherever you're going. I don't think it's kosher when a bunch of people went after that the pervert comic either. I just let people sell what they're going to sell. Buy it, don't buy it. I don't like all this gatekeeping that goes on and attempts. I don't like it. But my prediction was that Waid would prevail, and the reason being is legally. I know there's a bunch of people online who have said that Waid definitely broke the law and all the rest, but I don't. Typically speaking, my point of view is informed by this. This kind of tertiary interference is a very hard case to make. Typically, and I'm just going off stats here, the defense typically wins in these cases, and it's a hard thing to prove. And so that's my point of view, which has nothing to do with was it good action, bad action. I think it was a creepy, lousy action, and I think it was a lousy action if regardless of the target. This actually has nothing to do with Waid as a personality or Meyer as a personality. I think you should leave other people alone so they can do their own business. That's my personal view, but legally, I think the odds history would favor Waid in this case. But we'll see. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm not holding my breath on this case. Other people are. I don't know. What worries me, I guess, a little bit about it is when it's all over, and there's a winner and a loser, or it's dismissed or whatever. Is it going to be over? Like, are we, or will the verdict, will some kind of resolution then spawn a bunch more fighting? I hope not. I hope everybody whoever wins is gracious and whoever loses is, conciliatory and just let's it just move on with your lives, make comics. I hope that's the outcome, but I'm not an idiot either. I mean, come on, we know there will be more chapters to this story long after it's all over. Anyway, what about this is a weird question. I'm not sure exactly how to answer, but it's should Eric Larsen police image? Well, I mean, if that's the question, precisely that's the question. The answer is no. I mean, he's kind of the CFO, sort of. He's one of the founders. I think that any publisher should make sure that their creators, the people working on their projects, are not doing crazy things. I think that's a good idea. I do get the idea of creative freedom, and you should let everybody do what they're going to do and not get in the way of that. And it's Image's stance, but it's a hard stance to hold. You're not going to hold it forever. At some point, you're going to have to make a call up or down one way or another. And better to kind of stake out those guidelines ahead of time and not kind of be pushed into them through a lawsuit or a bunch of craziness. But I think that's Image's responsibility. I think it's Eric Stevenson. I think that's there's a bunch of people with an Image that have to maybe set better guidelines. I think coming out of this COVID situation, I think all the publishers would benefit from making it more clear to everyone, the creators, the fans, everybody, what they're going to tolerate and what they're not going to tolerate. I think that they should stake out here's what the world looks like, here's how you get in trouble, here's how you get fired. I think that as we go into the 2020s, there's going to be more and more kind of lawsuits, especially if more people are working from home, where people are going to say things, do things, make mistakes. They're going to pop off. And rather than have it be ad hoc, random town every single time when these incidents comes up, I think the company should get ahead of it and just start to say, here's what we're going to accept. Here's what we're not going to accept. This is just what you got. I think that would be in everybody's best interest. I think it'd be better for the fans to know what to expect. I think it'd be better for the creators to know what they can do. I just think it's healthy to have better guidelines that people can follow. That's just me. Next question. Why do you do so many videos? Well, I don't know. That's not really a question. I guess it is. But the reason why there's a lot of videos is that I got backed up. So basically, I film these videos, or I recorded these videos, I should say. I then process them. I put them up. I schedule them out. I then discover that if I schedule them out in advance, YouTube won't put them in searches if they're too far out. So that sucks. And then I found myself getting into July. And then, COVID hits, and suddenly a bunch of these things are talking about, comics in the shops and other just topics that didn't make sense. So I started to cram them all forward and basically start to release 3 a day. I can't keep this pace. And nor can you. I don't think people are listening to all this crap. So I definitely need to slow it on down. But that's what's going on. You're in a catch-up period where I'm cramming all the videos into one. I hope you're enjoying them. I wish I got more feedback as to what you enjoyed. If you like reviews better, you like analysis better, you like the social topics better. I'm trying to get more interviews. I suck at both live streams and interviews. I just want to admit that right out the gate. I just suck at getting those coordinated. I'm the busy guy. I mean, I'm not. I wish I was just doing this comic thing but I'm working multiple different angles and consulting in multiple different places and trying to be a dad, and it's just lots going on. I'm just saying, lots going on. All right, last and kind of happiest question. What's your favorite alcohol? Well, clearly, pardon me, clearly, the perfect alcohol is Patron. Patron, tequila that helps you get through these hard times in life. Patron, a proud non-sponsor of the Perch show. Patron, a company that should retweet me at some point. I've added them 5 billion times. Patron. It's the tequila of choice. If you want to forget tomorrow, if you want to forget today, Patron. It's what gets you going. And it probably would put you down too. Yeah. Actually, I'm more of a whiskey drinker, but I do like this joke of Patron. It comes from somebody said, when are you going to do a Patreon? Because we'd like to give you money. And me being a dodgy bastard said, I don't have a Patreon. I have a Patron because I drink it. Because Patron sounds like Patreon, because that's the spelling joke. Yeah. But actually, I like whiskey. Single malt whiskey, aged is good. Nice smoky whiskey. That's always going to be it for me. But if I ever meet any of you, then I will buy you a beer. I would love to buy you a beer. I'll buy you a whiskey. I'll buy you whatever you want. I don't like vodka cranberry. I worked with a company once, and all the executives, all the people were vodka cranberry people, and I'm like, I'll take a whiskey, and they're looking at me like, here's this Neanderthal drinking his whiskey, and they've all got their little pink vodka cranberry drinks, and I'm like, I mean, I'm not going to make a manly joke or anything like that, but I just Yeah, no. A vodka I've never really gone for. A whiskey's for me. That's just me. Anyway, do you have questions? I'll bet you do. Leave them in the comments below, and I'll do another video like this one and answer all your questions. Put that stuff out there. Hope you're entertained. Hey, these are just my opinions. They represent no business and company and blah, 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 blah. There you go. Like, subscribe, click the bell for notification. Follow on Twitter, Comic Perch. Thanks for listening. Bye.